If you're NBA level and want to be even harder to guard, then do this workout. I'm about to do an elite full workout for shot fake Hezis and sidestep jumpers. For many years, basketball players from all over the US as well as outside the US have traveled here to Dayton, Oregon to train with me in my barn. They've come for this SuperHandles advantage, and I'm going to go through a full training workout today, and I'll show you what I'm working on. Now, this is really for the high-level player. If you'd like to be elite or more elite, and you'd like your game to stand out, I think you'll like this. Let's get into it. I'm going to begin here with just the footwork for the SuperHandles Side-Step, and I'm working on my technique as well as my push-off. And I'm going to initiate this side-step with either a pop-hop or a snap drop, and then push off. I want to cover a significant amount of space here. I'm going to do 10 in each direction. A SuperHandles Side-Step can be initiated with either a drop or a hop. Now I'm going to go the other way. Okay, there's the sidestep footwork. Now I'm going to add the basketball. So for this one, I'm going to initiate it with a between the legs, dribble, and then step over. And I'll go back and forth with this. I'm going to do 10 total. I'm working on doing a quick sidestep while maintaining my dribble. The SuperHandles Side-Step is a delayed sidestep. Not only is the sidestep delayed, but so is the pickup if you're going to shoot out of it. Notice that I keep the dribble alive throughout the sidestep. And that's the point. I want to be harder to guard, not easier. The popular way is to pick the ball up early and to end access to dribble counters. But that's not the SuperHandles way. Now I've got the same thing with the V behind the back. So V, and then the side step. I'm not doing a side hop into the side step. Instead, I'm doing a V behind the back, and either performing a small hop or a drop into that push off. Now I'm going to do the sidestep footwork and transition to the push-off as if I were performing a mirror hesitation following the sidestep. So following the sidestep, I need to maneuver my inside foot back. I need to be prepared to push off quickly, be abrupt as I explode out of the mirror hezi. So I'm prepping my footwork for the sidestep and the delayed mirror hezi. Footwork is so crucial. I know people often talk about footwork, but very few have elite level footwork. And this is something that you need to practice if you want to be high level with it. If you want to be elite, you need to put in elite work. And that means there is quite a bit of nuance in terms of foot positioning, the timing, and how it all works together with making yourself harder to guard. And I'm pushing. I'm pushing to be harder to guard. There are several footwork patterns that I have in my footwork bag following sidesteps. As you see here, I'm transitioning from the sidestep directly to a repositioning of my push foot to push off out of the sidestep. I also worked on another footwork pattern in this workout where I did a 1-2 step prior to the repositioning of the push foot. So step to the side, 1-2 step, then reposition for push off. All right, now I'm gonna add the ball. Now these are very serious. Side step to the mirror hezi with the ball and my footwork. I need to delay the mirror hezi part and then position my feet so that I can push off quickly. So I'm gonna do it 10 times total with a between the legs initiation and then 10 times with a V behind the back initiation. So if you have the ability to delay movements, such as the mirror hezi, there are instant mirror hezis and there are delayed mirror hezis. If you can delay it, if you can change your footwork, and you can stay within the rules of the game and do so in a way that is hard to guard, which means you need to have various timings, different delays mastered, while being able to unpredictably execute. That's what I try to push it so that I can still stay within the rules of the game, but I may be hesitating with the ball, but my feet are still moving. So let's just say that, for example, with an instant mirror Hezi, it's done in harmony with the dribble. So as the ball comes up, there's a mirror Hezi. With a delay, the Hezi starts, and then there's the mirror Hezi part right after. So being able to vary this type of timing can be quite powerful. It can be quite hard to guard. You can even vary it on the same play, and I'll often try to do that. This is why it's paramount to be assessing your defender while you're performing different moves. You need to be able to read your defender. So maybe your defender doesn't react to the instant, but what about the delay? It's good to have a vast number of options in your bag, mastered at an elite level. And I'm trying to push mine to higher levels. So here it is, sidestep, initiated with a between the legs dribble to the mirror Hezi.
The sidestep is delayed, and so is the mirror Hezi. Another thing to point out here is it's vital to keep your hand no lower than the side of the ball in order to avoid a carrying violation. If you want to hesitate longer, pound the prior dribble harder.
Now I need to make 5 free throws in a row. Now I'm going into the V behind the back for the SuperHandles Side-Step. So I'm either dropping or hopping, pushing off, then performing the mirror Hezi following the sidestep. I'm doing these back and forth right here so that I can get a significant number of reps in pretty quickly. There's also another variation to this I'm going to work on. The footwork is slightly different. It is a sidestep into the mirror Hezi and then go. But with this one, instead of positioning the inside foot back, I'm planting the outside foot, abruptly stopping, mirror hesitating, and then going. So the mirror Hezi is actually performed slightly sooner in this version. Just a quick one, following the sidestep and go.
After your sidestep foot makes floor contact, abruptly execute a mirror Hezi and reposition your sidestep foot to push off explosively.
I'm going to initiate it with the between the legs dribble into the sidestep to the mirror Hezi, and I'm going to do 10 total. So I'm working on an abrupt mirror Hezi following that sidestep and then a quick initiation of the mirror Hezi. I need to be able to change the position of my eyes. Sometimes players will give it away. They'll be looking up the entire time. Having variation in where you look can make you harder to defend if you have variation. Up, down, surveying the court, up, delaying certain movements or changing the movements can have a significant impact. Here it is. I'm gonna make 5 free throws in a row. Now I'm doing the same thing, but I'm initiating it with the V behind the back. I need to make sure that I'm pushing off for that side step, creating that separation prior to the mirror Hezi. Here it is, and I'm working on making my timing as unpredictable as possible. That's why I'm doing these moves with various footwork and timing to make my game harder, for the defender to predict. It's about being harder to guard, being unpredictable. Whew. Now I need to make 5 free throws in a row. One thing I learned beginning at a young age is that if I wanted to become elite and have a game that really stood out for my competition, then I needed to approach the game differently. I needed to train differently. I needed to pay closer attention to detail as compared to my opponents. I needed to put more time in. I needed to have a different style that stood out. And I really needed to have a bag that was far superior than my opponents. Not only superior in terms of how well the execution was, but also in terms of how vast the arsenal is. So becoming elite begins with how you approach the game. It's also how you think about the game, the strategies you implement. It's the amount of work that you're willing to put in. It's a long-term game, not a short-term game. It's one that you know that the majority are not going to be able to stick with it. The majority are going to start and then stop, or they're going to start, maybe they'll start strong, but eventually they're going to let up. Now, I didn't let that thought stop me because my dad was continually telling me that when I'm not working, somebody else out there was working. And when I faced that person, he's going to kick my butt. He would tell me that regularly. So I had that reminder. But the things you see me do here, you're seeing the results of over 30 years of work. But this isn't how I started. It's as if I was building a mansion, one block at a time, gradually building. And over time, that mansion looks really nice to some. But it didn't look that way at the beginning. No matter where you're at, you can just build on that. No matter where you're at. Just one step at a time and have patience. One thing that has given me an advantage is having patience. Knowing that the vast majority of my competition is not going to be doing what I'm doing. Not long term. Not with my approach. And since you're watching this, I think we may have a similar approach, which is awesome. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna work on that side step into the jump shot. Now, one thing that differentiates the side step that I do with the pop side step, the popular side step that players often do, is I delay the pickup. So earlier I talked about delaying, and I delay the pickup on my side step jump shot. Since I'm delaying the pickup, that means I'll still have my dribble. So I could mirror Hezi. I could accelerate off the dribble. I could pull the dribble back out. I still have my dribble, and that's something that is very powerful. I don't want to give it up unless I have to. So I'm going to begin from mid-range. I'm going to make 5 each way, initiated with the between the legs dribble. Then I'm going to do it with the V behind the back. So I'm working on a quick side step and then an abrupt pickup.
Now I need to make 2 free throws in a row. Now I've got the same drill, but I'm going to initiate the SuperHandles Side-Step with the V behind the back. And remember, this is a delayed side-step, so the V behind the back is performed, a Hezi is initiated, and then an explosive side-step is executed with a delayed pickup. And these should be scoring jumpers. I need to get off the floor and turn in the air. I'm doing this to prepare for the best of defender, so I need to be able to stop quickly and turn in the air while protecting the ball. You ever get the urge to sidestep on somebody?
If I just stay within my own comfort zone, I'm not going to see the progress that I want. So I need to push beyond that. Making errors is going to happen, but that's what it takes to push to higher levels.
Now I need to make 2 free throws in a row. Now I'm gonna repeat that from beyond the 3-point line, so I have the between, SuperHandles Side-Step. I need to make 5 in each direction. And when I go into these shots, I'm gonna be shooting jump shots. So not set shots, but explode up and shoot the ball. I spoke earlier about delaying the pickup, and that's what is done during the SuperHandles Side-Step. The pickup is delayed. The popular method that you have probably seen
is to pick the ball up, establish a pivot foot, and then take 2 steps, which according to the NFHS rulebook is illegal, but it's legal in the NBA. In the NCAA rulebook, it's technically illegal, but the offensive player is given the benefit of the doubt. So if you're playing in the NCAA, you'll be more likely to get away with this travel. But there's a much more powerful reason to delay the pickup than simply avoiding a travel, and that is to retain access to dribble counters. While most players are picking the ball up early, you can delay your pickup and be harder to guard. This is a potent SuperHandle strategy, not just for side steps, but for other maneuvers as well. But now I have the between to the SuperHandle Side-Step 3 to the left. Notice that the sidestep is delayed, and so is the pickup.
Now I'm gonna make 5 free throws in a row, and then I'll repeat the previous drill with the V behind the back.
Next up, I'm doing the V behind the back to the SuperHandles Side-Step 3. And now to the left. Now I need to make 5 free throws in a row.
Now I'm going to be doing between the legs, SuperHandles Side-Step, and then doing the delayed mere hesitation and then pushing the dribble out. I'm going to pull up for the jumper. I'm working on delaying that mere hezi, so I don't want to look up too early. I want to do the SuperHandles Side-Step and then quickly get into the mere hezi following the delay. And I'm also emphasizing a very explosive push-off and then stopping as quickly as possible and then elevating. So, trying to be explosive and as hard to guard as possible here.
I'm gonna make 2 free throws in a row. Now on to the next set. This time I'm initiating the side step with a V behind the back, then the SuperHandles Side-Step, delayed mirror Hezi, push out, abrupt pull up. It's those abrupt transitions that make all the difference. If I were to gradually transition, I could lose my advantage. When I have that advantage, I need to be able to capitalize on it. And that comes down to, hey, if someone bid on my Hezi, I need to be able to quickly push off. And that's what I'm doing here. And then also, my stop needs to be as quick as possible. So that's something I'm emphasizing here as well. Now I need to make 2 free throws in a row. Now I've got the same move to the left. Now I need to make 2 free throws in a row. I'm gonna write that down and get ready for the next drill. Okay, now I'm doing the SuperHandles Side-Step again, initiating it with the between the legs dribble. There's still a delay, but not as much delay as in the last one. So the footwork is different here. I'm simply going to plant my side-step foot, mirror Hezi, and then go. And I'm gonna stop here with a delayed 1-2 step. So instead of a regular 1-2, it's a delayed 1-2. There's the dribble, 1-2. Now I need to make 2 free throws in a row.
Next up is the V behind to the SuperHandles Side-Step to the delayed mirror Hezi with the same footwork as the last drill. Once the side-step foot makes floor contact, it should be quickly repositioned for push-off. And again, I'm pulling up with the delayed 1-2 pull-up.
Now I need to make 5 free throws in a row. Now I need to make 2 free throws in a row. What I'm doing right now is I'm doing box squats. I first learned these from a guy named Jared Bidney from Explosive Mechanics, and he has specific ratios that correlate to 40-yard time in terms of the weight lifted at 0.6 meters a second divided by body weight. Now, through my testing, I've been able to find correlation with standing vertical jump. So if a player wants a 35-inch vertical jump, and I can tell them the specific ratio that they need in order to have a higher probability of reaching that vertical jump goal, and it's pretty accurate. It's subject to continued refinement with more information as I continue to get more and more athletes doing it, but through the years I've taken good notes and it's pretty accurate. So what I'm doing here is I'm using a 12-inch box with this soft 6-inch pad, so I really sink in here, and this is my first set. Now you've seen me in previous episodes doing single leg pad squats, and I have ratios for those as well that correlate to vertical jump height. I have a record that I'm trying to beat here with box squats, and this is just my warm-up set, but what I'm doing is I have a narrow stance, a fairly narrow stance, not a powerlifting stance that's real wide. It's more narrow, and fully sit, and then explode up. .315 on the bar. Now I have a couple dumbbell weighted vertical jumps with 30-pound dumbbells, and I'm keeping track of how high I jump here with the jump mat, jumping as high as I can, and I have a record for 30s as well as other weights. That way I can try to beat it. That was decent.
And now back to box squats.
I'm gonna do some reps here with the seated calf machine. Right after this, I'm gonna go back over and do some weighted vertical jumps.
And now for 2 more weighted vertical jumps with 30s.
Now I'm gonna do my last set of box squats. I need to focus on being as explosive as possible here, so I need to be in the right state of mind to try to do better than I did in the last 2 sets. All right, so that last rep was my fastest today. Here's my last rep.
And now back to seated calf raises with 50 more pounds than last time. And now another set of dumbbell vertical jumps.
Time to make it happen.
Dog will make a great addition to your series.
Yeah, this is Haku, by the way. Now I'm going to do some cars, some weighted cars, so basically ankle circles. Now I'm going to do it with my other ankle as well.
And now back to seated calf raises. Next up, I need to get some reverse hypers in. This is a superb exercise for lower back, glutes, hips, and hamstrings.
Man, this workout has been serious. Now I have hanging knee tucks with weight. I'm gonna hold a 40-pound dumbbell.
This is a superb exercise for hip flexors and lower abs.
It's also a good tibialis exercise. You have to hold the weight with your toes up like that.
And now more reps on the reverse hyper. Next up is another set of hanging weighted knee tucks.
All right, my emphasis with these is to pull the weight up as quickly as possible. Let me do one more. So that's great for your hip flexors and your lower abs. And hidden benefit is ripped abs.
And I'm definitely not mad at that. What about you?
Now I need to make 20 free throws in a row. So I need to lock in.
Hey, I want to take a moment to thank you for watching this episode of Elite Game. I really appreciate it. If you've been inspired by this and have found it beneficial, please share it with somebody that you think it could help. This could be an NBA player, a player who's trying to stand out in pro runs, or in City League, or in pickup games at a local gym, or at church. Whoever you think could gain value from it, because that'll really help my channel and this series grow. I'd greatly appreciate it too.
Tie game. No time left. 20.
At this point, I decided to do more weighted vertical jumps because I wanted to try to break a record. I had cooled down, so I needed to warm up a bit.
I'm gonna do one more vertical jump. See if I can break a record. Not quite. I'll do one more. Second highest for today.
Satisfied?
Well, I like to keep pushing, so.
This is Elite Game Episode 6.